Hi, I'm Oz. My main account is The Cryptic Grave, and in honor of this being my first Monday on my new roleplay account for Ridian, I am answering these 60 Mun-directed questions about roleplaying. So, hope it's good. Here we go. I like their faces, so I don't really want to change them, and I can't really think of anyone else who would fit the character, because I roleplay as Yanto Jones on my main account, and on Not Welsh, it's Ridian, and both of them, they have great, the actors are so great with the character, I wouldn't change a thing about them. Well, both of them, I saw them, like, I watched the show and there was something about them, like, right when I first saw them, there was something that pulled me to that character. I'm not even sure what that something was, it was just something that pulled me to them. I like that I tend to get rather descriptive. I love reading descriptiveness in writing, so I take that into my own. Sometimes I feel like I'm not in character. Like, I do my best to be in character, but I feel that sometimes I'm not, so I wish I could be a bit more in character. With Yanto Jones, it's coffee. I love coffee. He makes coffee. I make coffee. So, coffee. And then Ridian, wolves. I know that's kind of really stupid. Oh, and art, too. Art. I completely forgot that he's good at art. I like to believe that they both kind of have tragic backstories. It seems that they do. If I get to bring any of that out in the character when I roleplay, I like that. With Yanto, it's coffee, making coffee, and Ridian, art, and I can speak some Welsh. You know, now I can't think of any differences. I know there are a lot, some deeper within the personality, but I mean, like, I tend to choose characters that I feel I can relate to, and there's something about that, so, but it has to be something deeper within the personality. Honestly, I have to say smut. Like, I'll write it if I have to, but I don't necessarily enjoy writing it. It's just, I prefer to have, like, an actual storyline. Like, if it slips in, I'm okay, but I don't want a whole driven towards that. Yes, but that's like everything. Like, I've gotten better at writing because I've role played. In general, from role playing, I have become a better writer. I enjoy writing. Because it brings you to another world, and it's something that you can be something else. Sometimes I've tried to write stories in my free time, but I'm not fully motivated enough. Like, I've written stories in the past for school assignments, and I could pump out more pages than expected, and I enjoy it. I enjoy writing and making stories, but I don't have the drive on my own, so I guess that's why I do roleplay. Honestly, I don't really read fan fiction. It's never really been a pull to me to read any, so I just there's nothing pulling me to read fan fiction, so I rather read role plays. I'd say they're fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, as long as the OC isn't, like, overpowered, as long as they're not like that, it's perfectly fine. It gives you more for their personality to create and develop that. Like, when you watch the show or read the books or anything, like, it gives you more information about them, so you don't have to come up with it all on your own, but you can still go off of that into different directions. You don't know that you do have to be creative in that sort to figure out, but then there's also some things that you can't do because it's totally against the character, but I'm okay with that. The creativity about it. There's just like so much that you can do with your own character, but you don't want to overpower it because you can make them overpowerful. Now it's getting to maybe a few days out of a week, but I usually try to at least reply once a day if I have any replies to do. I try, but it's really gone downhill since I've been busy. Of course I do. I think about the threads all the time. Like if I'm not like role playing, I'm usually trying to think of how to respond and what I want the character to do. Like I think it all out in my head and visualize it before I type anything down. So that's one of the reasons why I do type a lot, because I visualize it and I'm trying to convert that what I see in my head into words. I have grown to love AUs. One AU called Armageddon, and that one's like post-apocalyptic, and I love that one where our characters are kids, and I like that one's really great because we got like really deep into like the character background and like their lives, and then we have a serial killer AU, and like we're they're detectives, and it's just great. I love him. Well, I haven't seen an AU that I've hated yet, so we'll see. It's Jack and Yanto. Don't really have one yet. I can't just strictly roleplay fluff and all that. Like it just I need it to gradually be in the roleplay. Like I can't just do a fluff driven roleplay or anything else. Like I need it to be gradual. You don't have to like establish a relationship because I don't know, it gets too much too driven towards the ship itself and takes away from the actual story. Sometimes sometimes, I mean, like if I'm scrolling through my dash on mobile, I will like it doesn't show to read more, so I just kind of glance at it, skim it, don't really pay much attention to it. I mean, sometimes my friends' role plays come up on my dash, and I'll like skim through it a bit. Like I never fully like read it, but I will like just kind of skim through it just to maybe if it catches my eye. Yeah, I don't really let them know unless they ask me if I read it. Not really. I love having a title for a thread because like I use the thread tracker thing and that makes it so much more helpful, but sometimes they don't and I suck with coming up with titles. There's been a few where I've plotted it, but like I like to see what happens next. Not really. If I ask someone to roleplay with me, I will ask them, "Hey, do you want to write the starter, or do you want me to write it?" And if they don't write it, then I'll write it, and I tend to write in paragraph. I don't really reply to them unless it's something that catches my eye or a character that I really want to roleplay with. That's what I've been saying. Para replies. Those are my favorite because I love like the detail and all that. I don't really have a favorite thing. I mean, like it's short and to the point. It's too short. The length, the detail, all that stuff. I love it. I don't really have a least favorite thing because I enjoy it so much. I prefer no face claim. This is what I do when I role play. Like I actually make like the facial expressions that I'm thinking of when I write, so I don't really need the GIF. Like I can imagine the character doing the facial expression, and I try to figure out how to write that. It's one of the reasons why I get the paragraph form, because I try to do all those little ticks that they do, like the little short head nods, and if they tilt their head to the side or raise their eyebrow, furrow their eyebrows, just all that stuff, or wiggle their ears or something. Like, I want to write that in there. I don't want to just have, oh, hey, here's a little gif of what they're doing. No, I want to write that. It feels more personal in a way than just throwing a gif or an icon up there. Yeah, sure, why not? It gives a face to the character. It lacks in stuff. Haven't really seen much overdone things. I like stuff where something happens, something exciting, like something where they have to go and investigate. It's called Asylum. I was with Jack and Yanto. Jack was in an asylum. Stuff was happening, like he was like seeing and hearing things, and Yanto went in and tried to rescue him, and like it got like really exciting. We had like these long paragraph replies, and it was just I was so into it. Like I could visualize it like it was an episode of Torchwood. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All of those. He's on DeviantArt. I don't remember, but it was one of my OCs. That would be Ridian. I would love to roleplay as Cass, but what's stopping me is that I don't really have all that religious knowledge and stuff. Conman Jack Harkness, she was my Jack. I'm literally too cool for school. That's my Owen. I'm literally too cool for school and looks good in suits. I I have gotten almost addicted to doing AU role plays because I found out how fun they were. Like I've never done an AU until I've role played with them, and so I love that.